So the other big case that I look at when I am dealing with what Murdaugh's case presented to this jury and what they didn't present to the jury is the Casey Anthony case. Hey, did you know they also had a 6-week trial for Casey Anthony? And that jury deliberated 10 hours and 40 minutes, but they did not have the same verdict. And it might be because of what you're about to see. When the prosecutor suggested to the jury that Casey taped over her kid's mouth, even though she was a loving mom all the way up until then, no history of abuse or violence or anything. Here's how it looked.
The first piece goes over the mouth, but that doesn't secure the nose. The second piece goes over the nose, but you could still have some gaps, so you have to be thorough. You have to have 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but those jurors said that is just a bridge too far. And today's jurors, that bridge was just fine. I want to bring in Steve Helling. He's a senior reporter with People magazine, because Steve Helling sat beside me when I was working for ABC News. You and I got to know each other so well for all of those days in court that we spent 10 hours a day. And I was thinking about you because I felt like this might go the same way as Casey Anthony, right? This is the ABC News haircut that I had back in the day. I've aged somewhat since then, grew the hair out, got a different jacket. But I thought this might go the same way, Steve, that they might say, you have not proved that a guy like Alex Murdaugh that has no history of abusing or hating or beating up or being violent with his wife or his son would suddenly decide to blow them to bits. Did you think that the jury was going to do what they did today?
No, I didn't think that he was going to be convicted, and I certainly didn't think he was going to be convicted in 3 hours. You know, I thought this was going to be a long, drawn-out thing. I had already written a story just to post in case he was acquitted. And then I also had written another story to post in case it was a hung jury. But yeah, I didn't think this was going to happen. This was a real surprise to me.
So wait, you didn't write the story about the guilty verdicts? You just wrote the acquittal and the hung jury?
I was prepared.
So, but, okay, no, I want to ask you what you...
Didn't.
Go ahead.
No, I truly didn't think that you know, I had some questions. I mean, I certainly didn't, you know, wasn't one of the jurors, but I had some questions about some of what I thought were gaps in the theory for the prosecution, and apparently the jury didn't have those same questions.
Yeah, real quick, I only have 30 seconds left, but why do you think this jury was fine jumping over that chasm of a perfectly nice guy who loved his wife, whose family all sat behind him? Maggie's family, his family, everybody sat behind him and supported him through this case. Why do you think this jury was able to jump over that chasm and say, we're good, we're fine, we think that that guy did it?
I mean, obviously they felt like his lies just were too much to explain away. He lied and lied and lied. He must have done it. You are one of the only people that I would like to share, you know, next door seating to in a courtroom for 6 weeks, 6 weeks to 6 months. I had such a great time covering Casey Anthony with you, despite the fact that the material was so, you know, awful so every dark, day. Yeah. But Steve Helling, I know, right? But thank you so much for doing this tonight. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.